Good morning, you beautiful people. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day today. Today, I am going to be giving you my first, and I mean my first impressions on the Awakening DLC. Since these are my first impressions, these are likely to change down the road. But let's get right into it. The first map I played was Gauntlet. And let me say, I am pleasantly surprised with all of these maps, and Gauntlet especially. Gauntlet is a 3-lane map, but as you guys will find out, I'm going to put out a video about lanes and maps and all that sort of stuff. It has a little bit more complexity than maybe some of the other maps that we have here in Black Ops 3, and that's a really nice change. Aesthetically, it's beautiful. You know, what you see is what you get. The middle, very atmospheric, very cold. On the right side, you have a very urban, very, you know, kind of in the streets sort of thing. Really good. And the jungle is my favorite part because of that secret little wall run you can do. Very good for flanking. Nobody really goes there, and that's super good for getting around the map. As far as playstyles, I would say that shotguns are probably not viable on this map. There's just not enough indoor areas, there's not enough places to be for you to really get a good shotgun game. I would recommend SMGs. SMGs work well, assault rifles, LMGs all really work well. Snipers, if you are good with your sightlines, you can actually snipe in here. I have noticed that on the sides, on the urban and the jungle, there's not a lot of people going over there. You know, a lot of people are just sticking to that middle snow area, which could be because the jungle and the urban area is pretty small. Those flank lanes are pretty small, which again, that's kind of how Treyarch does it. Yeah, you get a lot of action in the snow and in the spawn area, but that's kind of everything Black Ops 3. So this is a very, you know, if this map were in the regular rotation at launch, it would seem just like another map. But aesthetically, it is a little bit better. Moving on to Splash. Splash is a vibrant map. Everybody loves it because it's, you know, fun and a water park and all that sort of stuff. Something that I noticed is that Rise has more water than Splash does, which really doesn't make any sense. It's kind of like Aquarium, where you're like, I could have sworn a map called Splash with water or Aquarium with water, you know, you would swim more. There's like one swimming area, and that's nobody uses that. I mean, I use it because I like swimming and I like the extra route it gives. But other than that, this is one of those maps that almost tricked me the first time I played it, because the first time I played it, you know, everybody's learning it and everything, and it didn't feel like a 3-lane map. But ultimately it is, and I did play a second game of it, and then I was like, oh yeah, 3 lanes, this is definitely how it is. But like Gauntlet, there are extra routes that are functional that kind of give you an alternate route to get to the spawn area, which I quite enjoy, and I think that is a good addition here. It's still simple, it's still 3-lane, but it's a little bit more detailed, which I can get down with. It reminds me a lot of Boardwalk from Modern Warfare 3, even though it's a little bit more cartoony, but that's kind of Treyarch style. Treyarch goes for the cartoony, and Infinity Ward goes for the real gritty. Moving on to Rise. Rise is surprisingly my favorite map, and you're like, of course, Donuts, that is your favorite map. Why? Because it's the biggest map. Now, it is still 3 lanes, but there is a little bit more space on the sides where you can get going, and I think the reason I liked it so much is because I played it on Hardpoint. There are so many different alternative routes to get to and from the hardpoint that it flows very, very well. That little bit of extra space combining with the movement and the lanes really gives a good flow for this map. Now, I'm sure it will be slow and boring and people aren't going to like it down the road, but as of my first impressions, a little bit bigger, a little bit more room, you can kind of see the spawn flips happen, you can control your pace a little bit more, and that's something that I quite enjoy. And all of these maps are the typical Treyarch, you know, head glitch versus head glitch. There's like, this is a Treyarch DLC map. What you got for the standard default maps, you're just getting more of those. They just kind of look different. Speaking of same maps looking different, we have Skyjacked, a remake of Hijacked. Aren't we all just excited for that? This was by far my least favorite map from Black Ops 2, and for some reason, the 11-year-olds have cried out to Treyarch and managed to make them remake this map. This is the worst map I've ever played. This is so bad. You see, in Call of Duty Ghosts, they remade Shipment, and you're thinking, Donuts, that's a small map, that's a crazy map, right? Shipment was made for 1v1s, and when you played it 6v6, you were not supposed to take it seriously. You weren't supposed to take it seriously. It's supposed to be fun, kind of crazy, 100+ kill gameplay, anybody. But when you have hijacked, when you have skyjacked, it's so small and it's so limiting, and you're just spawning everywhere, and it's not fun. It's head glitch versus head glitch on the smallest map ever, and combined with the movements, you can make it from one edge of the map to the other edge of the map in like 10 seconds. That is not hyperbole, like 10 seconds. You can make it from one end of the map to the other. There is little to no map control whatsoever. It's crazy, it's chaotic, and it's not even meant to be crazy chaotic. It's supposed to be competitive with the whole 3-lane map design, and it was even in competitive games. I think it was Hardpoint. It's just so ridiculously crazy and uncontrollable. It is a bad map, and I will stand by that. If you have a team, it's the best map ever. If you have a team, man, you can just dominate the map. Stay in the 2 houses, kill them on the ground, and make them respawn, kill them as they spawn in. It is a great map for that. But if you have a bad team, if you're running solo, worst map ever. Little to no map control at all. And so that's it for my first multiplayer maps, at least. First impressions of these maps. They are the standard basic 3-lane map design. Typical Treyarch. Not bad maps whatsoever. I don't think any of these will go down as bad maps like Metro or Redwood. For some reason, those are bad maps. I couldn't tell you. But I do feel Rise might go down as a bad map, but I personally enjoy the fluid motion and the different space that we get that we don't have anywhere else in Black Ops 3. Of course, Rise could eventually become like Infection, where it's just 3 lanes, except it's a little bit bigger. But I don't know. That's my first impressions. Those were my first games. Those were my first games ever on those maps, by the way. That was very, very a good session, we could say. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. What are your thoughts on the Awakening DLC? Thank you guys so much for watching, and until the next absolutely beautiful Call of Duty morning, I'll catch up with you guys later. And as always, have a great day.